Well, we just saw Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. And on this show, I take my friends, we go see a movie, we review it in the car, and then we have a discussion. The review part is spoiler-free, so if you're on the fence and haven't seen this movie yet, you can watch that part and find out if we recommend it. If you've already seen the movie, or just want to hear everything we thought and don't care about spoilers, watch the whole thing, because we'll get into a discussion at the end and talk about the rest of the plot.
So, Dale, what did you think?
So, this is a movie that I didn't really have a whole lot of desire to see, honestly. I'd heard a lot about it. I've seen a lot of other people review it. I haven't read, like, spoiler reviews, but I've read, like, kind of what people are thinking about it or what people are saying about it reviews. But I found it really intriguing that it's been in theaters for like 4 weeks now, and it's still showing like 8 times a day at our screen and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, all right, let's go find out what this is. And there weren't that many movies that came out this week, so we kind of had time to go see it. It's completely insane. It's a so bad it's good movie. I think their heart's in the right place. Like, they were trying to make an earnest movie that's not... Like, it has a light touch. It has, like, a lighthearted, comedic kind of feel to it. It's kind of like they tried to make... not necessarily like an Adam Sandler movie, but something of that kind of, like... You just go and you turn your brain off and you enjoy it and you laugh at some funny things that happen and there's shenanigans. The structure of the movie is really strange, and it helped that I knew kind of what that was going into it. I think for people that haven't heard much about it or don't know much about it, if you go into it expecting to disagree with the messages of it, you probably will. I think if you go into it thinking, oh, this might give me information about something, or this might validate something that I already believe in, you might find that too. But, I mean, honestly, I think we were saying a little bit before, like, this is sort of an equal opportunity offender. Like, there's stuff in this movie that at least one thing in this movie is going to make you shake your head. Like, I can't believe they just said that. I can't believe that is the message of this. And to really, like, bring it down to the core without, like, spoiling things or talking about specifics, if you take the scene from A Charlie Brown Christmas, where Linus says, "This is what Christmas is about," and he reads the story from Luke, I think it is. If you take that scene and you make its entire inverse, the entire opposite of that scene, and you say that's what Christmas is all about. It's all about materialism and celebrating the way that we celebrate and embracing the way our culture embraces what Christmas is today, as opposed to, being a downer about giving out presents or having parties or any of that kind of stuff. That's sort of what the movie is. It didn't hurt my feelings to watch this movie. It didn't, like, make me angry to watch this movie. Because it had that sort of light touch. There was that sort of, like, that somewhat humorous slant on it, where sometimes I was laughing with the movie, sometimes I was laughing at the movie, and the rest of the time I was just sort of bemused.
But always laughing.
So, to me, I found it a lot more entertaining than, like, a super, super conservative Christmas movie. Like a super, something that... I mean, it's not like the Westboro Baptist Church is saving Christmas. Like, right. It's not. That's not what it is.
Every day.
That's not what this is. But I'm here to review it as a movie, not to review, the views of the people that have it. structurally, it's got some problems. It's kind of, there's a bunch of padding at the beginning, there's a bunch of padding at the end. The main conceit is just sort of the Christian guy named Christian talking about the things that he doesn't feel are really what Christmas are all about, and then Kirk Cameron explaining why that's wrong and why, it really is about, Christmas trees are what about Jesus, and everything is about Jesus. And some of those explanations are ridiculous. Some of those explanations are okay. They're fine, but it's not like, none of it's like a revelation. It's just sort of it's more of a like way of looking at things. I think it's more of more of an innocent sort of way of getting that point across. Yeah. So anyway, I'd be careful about seeing it in the theater because it was hard for us to decide. We ended up not being the only people at the screening, which is impressive. And it's one of those movies that you never know if you're going to laugh at something that's going to offend somebody else. So it's, from that perspective, it's kind of a hard thing to recommend seeing in a theater unless you can be reasonably sure that, you can sit in the back corner if you're going to make fun of it and, laugh at it or something like that. But it's definitely bizarre enough that I would say check it out when it hits VOD, when it hits when it hits the rental side. So
for sure. That
was the longest review I think I've ever given a movie on this show. But there you go. That's what I thought. What'd you guys think?
Okay. I agree completely. Don't go watch it in theaters. Wait till it's out on like Redbox, VOD, something to that effect. Because the movie, I can't really tear apart the movie. It was a solid story, I guess. The main thing is it was so strange and it never really got to a point. The point as I took it was, it doesn't really matter what you believe, Christmas is badass.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of like, okay, what are you trying to do here? And it was insane. It was absolutely insane. In some parts, the insanity gets kicked up a notch to the point that you're just like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I actually thought it was something that, if I found it on television, I probably wouldn't turn it.
It's entertaining.
It really was.
It's spellbinding.
It really was. Like I couldn't stop just being
aghast.
Every single scene just took it to another level, and I'm just like, this is quite possibly the greatest thing we've ever reviewed. And it was great, and I had an excellent time. Not probably for the reasons they wanted me to, but it was great.
Yeah, I'd agree. Kind of the same. I enjoyed it, not because it's a good film, but because it was kind of batshit crazy. It's really confused as to how they're presenting this, because it comes off a little bit at times like it's a documentary, and then it's like, nope, it's switched to like a regular kind of like message film, and then other times it feels like a multimedia preaching aid. And it just keeps switching between these modes, and it's really quite bizarre. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah. I don't think they planned this. Like, I don't think this was written as a screenplay and then shot.
No, I think it was just bits of ideas that they just thought, oh, let's stitch this together into some kind of film, and yeah.
Like, some portion of this was made first, and then they decided, let's add some things.
It's like a rich guy's home movie.
Yeah.
My theory is somebody lost a bet. But either way, the movie got made.
Yeah.
So anyway, before we get into spoilers and all that, here's the chance to tune out. Definitely check this movie out if it sounds like fun to you. If what we've said so far you found offensive, probably don't go see the movie, because it doesn't get better from there. The thing about looking at it as a movie and looking at the structure and things like focus are important. There's what seems like it's gonna like have this framing device of him sitting in front of the tree with that like 2-shot they were doing at the beginning, and he's talking about he keeps talking about cocoa because
he likes it, I guess.
Well, every time he took a sip, they decided to leave that in the movie. And it seems like that's going to be a framing device, and he's going to go through like some other people's stories. But then they're just sort of at the parade, or not the parade, the Christmas party.
Which, by the way, most of the film takes place in this is one scene, basically. Well, it's one location.
Well, yeah, they're all at the Christmas party. The majority of it is Kirk Cameron in the car with Christian the Christian. And then they have, whenever Kirk Cameron starts telling him a story, they do like History Channel style, like flashbacks.
That's where it
things,
switches.
and you know, we learn about Saint Nicholas, and we learn about the swaddling cloth, and we learn about how every tree is a cross, and always see an empty cross where you see a tree.
It all came back to the swaddling cloth.
Yeah, everything comes back to the swaddling cloth. And I felt like if they had used that introduction part to tell you what they were going to do, like if they had set up, here is our goal, and then the movie executed the conversation between the two leads, and they got to the end of their goal, and then they go to sit down for dinner, and it goes back to Kirk Cameron by the tree, and he said, you know, get the biggest ham, celebrate Christmas your way, make it, you know, be the person that saves Christmas in your family, sort of thing. Like, there was a way to make this movie that would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah, but without those little bits thrown in that are just don't really, like you were saying earlier, they don't really make sense except to market it as something else so that people will come in and see it.
Well, what blew my mind was right off the bat when, first off, the 15-minute diatribe in front of the tree that had no point other than Kirk Cameron pointing around the room, I like this and I like that. But when they actually got into the movie, and I'm talking the meat of the movie, which is him going out to the car and talking to Christian. Christian is supposed to be, I guess, the villain. And
no, he's not the villain. I mean, Christian he's really a straw man. That's really his role. Because Christian is played by the director of the film, who's trying to get the point across. So Kirk Cameron is actually speaking for the director.
Yeah. And
Christian is playing this straw man who's there to spout the argument.
Be a spoil sport to Christmas.
Exactly. He's there to be the person that Kirk Cameron corrects.
But what kills me is they introduce Christian as somebody who you should actually be getting behind. He's like, you know, maybe instead of buying all these useless gifts, we could feed the hungry.
And I think...
And then he's like, no, everything you're saying is stupid.
Right. And I agree that that's not the best way to pull off what they're trying to pull off. But I think their actual intent there was for people that think like Christian, for people that hear what he says and think, yeah, he's right. They want to be nice about correcting them.
Yeah, but they so did not go
it's not, well, you're just wrong about everything.
Which is exactly what Kirk Cameron says.
Well, you're just wrong.
Everything you're saying right now, completely wrong.
But he says it in a really charming and funny way.
Well, yeah, haven't you ever seen Growing Pains?
That's the trick. That's the way that the movie is set up. Because otherwise it would be, I mean, Kirk Cameron would be a jerk in the movie. Correcting him the way he was correcting him.
Well, I like the way the guy doesn't, like, his explanations, Kirk's explanations for things are pretty asinine at times. And the guy's just like, oh, okay, yeah, never thought of it that way. It's
Well,
like, really?
And that's what I mean about the straw man argument. It's that they're not having a debate.
Right.
They're not like
It's
he's
more
not
of a sermon type thing where
yeah, he's Christian doesn't represent an alternative view. He represents what Kirk Cameron's and the director's understanding of that alternate view is. Yeah. And so it's only as deep as that one line. You know, the why don't we just feed all the children? It's like, nah, we don't need to.
You know what this felt like? Do you
Do you really want me to answer that?
no, okay. Let me just go ahead into my spiel. You know those chick tracts? Little things you always find in bathrooms and people hand you, find Jesus. It felt like somebody took that and made it into a movie.
Yeah, and it is really about Kirk Cameron being, like, as much as he is saying, you're wrong and here's how it really is, they do a really good job of because it would be so easy for that to be so condescending. And he's not condescending.
Right. Yeah. That never comes across.
He's talking with his brother-in-law, and they're speaking.
They're earnest about what they.
Yeah, and he's trying to help his brother-in-law out. Like he's trying to help him come around because Christmas
and swaddling cloths.
Truth.
You never thought
like that. That's the entire movie. Christmas.
Because it's important that
it's all about a tree lot. If you think about it,
it is all about it.
It's all about the cloth.
Even though
man.
that's dead trees all cut
the
down.
beginning, that's all there was a tree lot.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was swaddling cloth, and from that swaddling cloth, a tree.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So, in the spirit of this movie, I will say, oh, I never thought of it that way. That's our review. Thank you for watching Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. If you like the way we do these reviews, please like the video, subscribe, check out all the written and video reviews at dalemaxfield.com. And if you love this movie or you disagree with something that we said, you're welcome to your opinion. We're not here to bash this movie or tear apart the religious views or any of that sort of thing that's put into here. We're just reviewing the film and giving you our honest interpretation of what we saw and what we thought about it. It was entertaining. So
leave comments.
Yeah. Check it out. So thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye.